Hello haulers, this is U-Haul with Jess, where I teach you how to save hundreds of dollars on groceries in order to save money for debt, vacations, all the good things by meal planning, using what you have in your pantry, freezer, or refrigerator, and making the best of what you have. If that sounds like something that you're interested in, you're gonna wanna stick around. So I'll be going grocery hauling probably a little bit later this week, but things are gonna look a little bit different this time. I think you all know what I'm talking about. We are in a pandemic. It's not new news to anyone. However, it does change a little bit of things for me and how I do things. So it's gonna change things for how you do things. And so I wanna be here to give you some tips and tricks on how to modify or how to mentally prepare yourself for that. Is it new for me? Yeah, heck, I've never been in a pandemic kind of situation either, but I've had some time to think about how to prep for that. And so I want to share that with you. Obviously, as I think about it, things are gonna be different in stores. I don't know how the stores are going to be. I don't know how stores are going to be. I have seen other Instagrammers and YouTubers and influencers at like Costco and waiting in line for hours at a time just to get into the store in hopes that the food that they need is there. And not always is that the case. I've heard obviously everywhere's out of toilet paper and our house needs toilet paper. Everywhere is almost out of paper towels and we need paper towels. Everywhere's out of chicken and that's on my list. And so I really just want to show you guys how I'm going to modify things just in case, or how to prepare just in case we're missing those kind of things. What alternatives do we have for toilet paper? There is such a thing, and I have ideas in mind. They're not going to be amazing and as soft as toilet paper, but you got to do something, right? So if you're wanting some tips and tricks on that and still planning to go out to the grocery store, here we go. So first, I just want to share how I normally prep for a grocery haul. I've made a quick video on this once before, but I want to go into a little bit more detail so that you guys can see exactly how it works step by step. So as I've always preached and told you all, you want to work with what you already have. So you need to check your freezer, your refrigerator, and your pantry for foods that you already have and base your meals off of that. So that's where we'll head first. Okay, so we'll probably go ahead and check the freezer first, but I want to make sure that you guys have a piece of paper or some kind of pad or list that you're able to keep right in front of you with a pen so that you can go through the refrigerator, the pantry, and the freezer and write down things that you already have. And what I'm going to be writing down are anything that is going to last us 30 days or more in those three areas so that I can base meals off of that. So first we'll go into our freezer. So we have a drawer freezer, and inside, now keeping in mind that I have the rest of the week of meals that I have to use up. So there's fries in here, but we have 2 meals for the rest of the week to use the rest of those up. So that's not included. Oh, wow, it's so dirty. I'll probably be cleaning my freezer today. So I have berries in here, which I make my smoothies with, and I will be low on strawberries. So that's something that I'll need to add to my list. So over here I have mixed berries that I do have, and then over here is things that I need. I need frozen strawberries. And we are completely out of chicken, so I'm going to write chicken, and then those fries will be gone too, so we will need fries also. So then back in here, we also have chicken wings, salmon patties, bacon, and shrimp, and looks like we have some sausages. So here we are adding all of those things to what we already have. That will last more than 30 days. So then we have a drawer here that has my meats that aren't frozen and cheeses. And so in here, we are running low on our sliced cheese. So we'll add that. We are running low on our folio cheese wraps and our cheese sticks. And I know we have a few more bags of mozzarella and Mexican cheese in the freezer downstairs, and we'll go there in just a minute to review that. Let me go ahead and get these things on the list. So sliced cheese and cheese sticks for the kids. for things I need. And this is just a rough sloppy copy. I will make this neater later and have it typed up for you all to see. All right, now into the fridge where we are running low on a lot of things. We will need eggs because those will be gone shortly. We will need milk. You can see that's running low. This is our last carton of almond milk. Well, that's almost empty. And then we have one more carton of almond milk. So we'll add those. I am down to 1 avocado and only half a bag of Brussels sprouts. And we just have a little bit of tomato in here. So we'll obviously need all our fresh produce. I always like to double check on coffee creamer. Guys, if you've never had this, this was the only coffee creamer for my weekly haul that was in the store at all. Everyone had bought it out. This was the last one, like the last of all of them. And it's so good. Like, we just have it like as coffee for dessert in the evenings. It's that good. So anyways, we'll get some more creamer, whatever flavor is available, if possible. And then condiments. I always like to look at condiments to see what we're low on. And in all honesty, we're not really low on anything. We have plenty of everything. Maybe some taco sauce. Some taco sauce I'll add. And that looks to be everything. All right, now it's to the pantry, which I'm embarrassed to ever show my pantry, but it's fine. So we have I keep everything up here that's like excess. So like we already have a jar of peanut butter opened, so I just keep the extra up here because you buy those in a double pack. Same with the salsa, same with the Alfredo, and everything up here is just extra. So when I look up here, I'm like, okay, we don't need peanut butter, we don't need salsa, we don't need Alfredo, we don't need oatmeal. We're good on all of that. I'll move some things around and look for more. Like we don't need jelly. We don't need dressing. There's mayonnaise back there, and there's coffee and protein powder back there. So then all of those are going onto the list of things I have. And then we'll look down here for other things that we have. With plenty of macaroni and cheese. I bought that in a bulk box last month. We're good on honey. Oh, and there goes the Nutella into the trash can. We are good on oatmeal. We have all these packets of oatmeal in here. We're good on rice cakes and nuts for snacks. And we have some veggie straws and some popcorn. And we also have some pork rinds. So we'll add those to the list. And all the I know it's so dark. Sorry, guys. Canned goods. We have beans. We have tons of corn. We have tons of green beans. We have cream of mushroom and cream of chicken, which are really ideal for quick meals. So I'll write that down and find something to make those with. I see black beans back there as well. And some soy sauce we could make something with because we have lots of that. And then I have tons of baking goods. So I'm thinking of some kind of desserts to have around as well. So now that that is set, I'm headed to my basement where my deep freezer is. Well, it's not really a deep freezer. It's like a standing extra freezer we have down here to see what frozen stuff we have saved. I know I'm out of freezer meals, but we might have a few things. We buy a half a cow. I'm sorry, for Christmas, we get a gift of a quarter cow that we share with my sister-in-law. So I know there's some steaks in there, maybe. We'll check it out. All right, into the freezer. What do we have? We have a couple loaves of bread, some whole wheat tortillas, more of the roasted garlic kielbasa, lots of kielbasa, that's great. More bacon, more kielbasa. So I might be doing kielbasa at least once a week. We have a whole bag of pork sausages for breakfast and waffles, bagels, and the bags of cheese that I talked about. And then look at this. We're eating good down here. We've got some ribeye steak, some sirloin steak, and some cubed steak. So we'll be doing looks like maybe 2 or 3 steak nights. Still eating good in this neighborhood. So we're out of hamburger completely, which will suck because we really use hamburger quite a bit with taco nights and all the things. So I will have to budget for that and chicken. Guys, it's April. It's my quarterly miscellaneous haul too. So this is gonna be a big haul. And what's scary about it for me and our family is I'm laid off, no pay. Unemployment lines you just can't get on the phone with anyone. The websites are crashing. So my unemployment is not even in effect yet. It's not even active. I can't even get online to file weekly claims because it's just not working. So do I know if I'm gonna be getting a paycheck? No. I have a side hustle, which is awesome, but it's not replacing my full-time income quite yet. So to spend this money is kind of scary because I don't know if I'm gonna have it. There's money in the bank account now. We're ahead a month because of the way we cash envelope and budget, but what about next month? You know, it's scary, but at the same time, I always remember I have a Lord and Savior who always provides. There's never been a chance or an opportunity that he hasn't taken to provide for us. And so that leaves me at such peace about everything, because this grocery haul goes on our credit card and then we pay it off before the end of the month. But I like to make sure that the money's in the account, or I know it's going to be in the account before we spend the money, to be sure that we're going to be able to pay it off. So there's a little bit of fear in all of this, for that matter, or at least there should be, but God's left such a peace on my heart to know that I will be taken care of, even though it's an unknown. We don't know how long I'll be off. We don't know how long everybody's going to be in this situation. We don't know how this is going to affect the economy, all the things. I just have all the faith and all the trust that I'm going to be okay and my family's going to be able to eat and survive. So with that, this doesn't have to be a huge haul in the fact that I need to hoard things. I'm not going to go to the store like some people and bulk buy because my family's starving, or I'm not going to go to the store and bulk buy because I'm scared that I'm not going to have it later. I already do this on the regular, okay? It's to get us through the month. This isn't bulk buying in fear whatsoever. I just wanted to make that clear. And I'm not going to do that because it takes away from other people who truly need it and do not monthly grocery haul. That puts them in a really bad spot. So this is truly just enough for my family, like meal by meal, exactly enough, and nothing more and nothing less. All right, guys, next step is hopping onto Pinterest and looking up recipes based off the things that you already have on your list. And remember, in my deep freezer, we had steaks. They've been down there a while. It's time to use them up. Now look at this recipe. We've got steak and shrimp, which I have both of. So I am going to click on the recipe and click on the link of the recipe. And as we all know, we'll go through this list and try to find the recipe, and it's 1,000 words down because they tell us a whole story about it. So then I be sure to look at the recipe and make sure it's not too complicated. Does it have a ton of ingredients that I have to go buy? Then it's pointless, right? You're buying more than you really truly need. But if I look at this list, I have butter, I have the shrimp, I have garlic. I will use minced garlic because I have that. I have chicken broth. I need to buy heavy cream. I have Parmesan. I have salt and pepper, and I need to buy parsley. Oh, you know what? No, I have parsley. So the only thing in this whole recipe I need to buy is heavy cream. That is a recipe worth saving. So this surf and turf will be added to the list. However, one that is so important to remember is always make sure that you pin the recipe. Because if you don't pin it and you go back to look for it later, you might not be able to find it. So make sure you save it on your Pinterest page under your board, recipe board or whatever you call it, so that you don't lose that recipe when it's time to cook it. So I wrote down my heavy cream on the list of things that I need. Also is I'm writing down on another sheet the meals. So surf and turf, steak and shrimp. I will know what that means when I come back to it. And then in parentheses, I can put my fresh produce that I need for that. And that's parsley. And that's it. That's all I need for that recipe. So that if say I make this on week 3 and I have to go for my weekly haul, I know that I need to grab parsley for that recipe. And because I'm not going to buy parsley at the beginning of the month, and then it'll go bad by week 3 when I do decide to cook this. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Now, this process will take a total of maybe an hour or maybe 2 hours, depending on how many times you're interrupted by your children or how distracted you get on Pinterest, because that's easy to do as well. But think about it. You spend an hour, 2 hours, that's the time you're spending for the entire month's worth of groceries. So is it worth the time? Absolutely. Make the time, make it work. Another thing to remember is to count how many meals you need to be looking for, okay? So I prefer to cook 5 meals during the month or during the week. I prefer to cook 5 meals during the week. Not 7, not 6, And let me tell you why I choose 5. Because in reality, I'm not cooking 5 meals, okay? One of those nights is going to be leftover night. And sometimes it ends up being 2 nights, or we use leftovers for lunches, which is awesome. And then one of those nights, usually we'll do some kind of takeout. Now, in this quarantine, that's a little bit different. And for some people, you may not feel comfortable eating out or getting carry out because of what's going on. However, in our eyes, we like to support small businesses because we are small business owners. And so we like to, I have so far liked to buy out at a small business in our area one night a week to order food for our family to support them, keep them, keep them afloat. I know our order isn't going to keep them afloat, but I'm encouraging our neighborhood to do the same thing. And I'm on Instagram, suggesting that to other people as well. So we will spend one night with leftovers, and we will spend one night supporting a small business and or a fend for yourself kind of night where it's like, okay, you guys eat whatever you want that you find in the pantry. It might be peanut butter and jelly. It might be cereal. It might be a boxed pizza, whatever we buy, so that mommy can just not have to cook. So that's why we plan 5. So 5 times 4 is 20. We're going to plan 20 dinners. And then I make a separate list of lunch ideas and breakfast ideas. So let me show you that. So my PDFs, you guys are seeing a glare on it because it's on my computer and I've got a window behind me, but I'm just going to show you the monthly meal planner for March because I haven't made April's yet. But you can see all the meals that I plan to make, and then you see the weekly list that I planned to take to the store each week for fresh produce. And then at the bottom of the list, you have breakfast ideas and lunch ideas. So last month we had waffles, cereal, eggs, sausage, oatmeal, and egg casserole as our breakfast ideas, and then lunch ideas for packing lunches, quesadillas, hot dogs, peanut butter, jelly, or Nutella sandwich, leftovers, chicken nuggets, and pizzas. And that was lunch. We also had grilled cheese and a few other things that I was able to make. So these are just options that you put at the bottom to use with the ingredients that you already plan on buying, right? So that's how lunches and breakfasts are planned. There may be some of you out there who prefer to meal prep lunches for like adults, like meal planning, healthy lunches to take with you and pack for you and hubby or you and boyfriend or whoever. So then that's when you would plan more than the 20 meals. Maybe 25, maybe 35. I mean, I don't know. That really just depends on you. But we luckily make enough at dinner to have leftovers for lunch most of the time to pack. Not always, but most of the time. So keep that in mind when you're thinking of like sized meals. So when you're looking at recipes online for a family of 4, but you have a family of 5 and you want to have leftovers, you might have to double that recipe, right? So then you need to double the ingredients that you're buying. So these are just all tips and tricks to keep in mind, and why I also buy in bulk, because it's cheaper to buy in bulk if you're buying for larger families or if you're planning to have leftovers for lunches. If you're buying small amounts, you're having to double and you're spending so much more, okay? So huge reason why I'm so adamant about meal planning ahead of time to make sure you have enough for the month so that you're able to buy in bulk. I hope this is all making sense. Light bulbs going off. Another thing to keep in mind is the list of food that you're making is not day by day. At least I'm not going to do it that way. And let me explain why. So as you can see, week 2, I'm just using this as an example from last month. We have all of our options of food that we made for the week. I just put 5 options. I didn't put Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, why? Because what if Monday I'm not in the mood for pizza? What if Thursday I'm not in the mood for steak? What if Thursday I forget to thaw out the steak, so then I need to make tacos instead, and so then I've got to move it to Friday? You know what I mean? So just plan for 5 meals. When I wake up in the morning, I see what I'm craving. I get out what's frozen. So say, oh, you know what? I think steaks will be really good tonight, and I have plenty of time to prepare those properly because I'm off early today. So then I get steak out in the morning and thaw it. However, like many of you, I forget to thaw food all the time. So then what is the alternative to that? There's plenty of options to thaw food quickly, but my favorite option is an Instant Pot. If you don't have an Instant Pot, or at least the crock pot off-brand of that, you gots to look for sales and get one, because I can't tell you how many times I've forgotten to thaw chicken, and then I just throw it in the Instant Pot completely frozen, and it's done in like 30 minutes or less. Lifesaver. Lifesaver. So one thing that I would suggest as something to keep in mind, and that I'm worried about when I go grocery hauling this time around, is the lack of meat that we're probably going to find in the stores in bulk. So what I've really done is been looking at recipes, meatless recipes. So there's lots of people that do like meatless Monday recipes. And so I would suggest looking at some meatless options, so that if you can add meat later because you were able to find some, awesome. But if not, it's still as flavorful and delicious without any meat. So I've been looking at some meatless options, and they look really, really good. There's not a ton of ingredients needed, and a lot of the ingredients I already have, which is awesome. Pinterest even has an on a budget option for any kind of meals that you're looking for. So chicken meals on a budget, hamburger meals on a budget, meatless meals on a budget, Chinese food on a budget, all of the things on a budget, and that is a really good search to add. But the internet's slow because everyone's online and I can't get the page to load. Patience. All right, y'all, here it is. Sloppy as sloppy can get. But now I'll transfer it all over, nicely typed up for you all to see. One thing I like to do when planning my meals by the week is looking for meals that have similar ingredients. So when I look at my meatless pasta, that dish is calling for mushrooms and onions and spinach. My kielbasa and veggies calls for mushroom and onion, so I'm going to put those on the same week because I know I'm not going to use an entire container of mushrooms for one recipe. So instead, I'll break that one up into 2 recipes in the same week so I don't waste it. So there's another tip. Okay, guys. I am all done. I've got it nicely listed, printed, and all the totals on the grocery list are at the bottom. I know exactly what I'm spending on each item because I put prices, estimated prices right next to them. I'm good to go whenever I get to the store this week. If you all, anybody here who may be new, may not know, but I do offer the PDF forms of the grocery haul bundle for free. All you have to do is send me an email and I can send it right back to you completely for free. The email is Jess, Jess, Yoder15 at gmail.com, or you can find me on Instagram. Here's my handle. Send me a DM with your email address and I will get it sent over to you as soon as possible. I offer this for free because I'm here to help. I'm not making any income off of this. This is all just to help because I love helping people any way that I can. And it's been so helpful for our family financially and in so many other ways that I know I can extend this knowledge to other people as well. So in that PDF bundle, you're getting the monthly meal planner, you are getting the grocery list PDF, and you are getting even a pantry inventory sheet that you can use to keep track of. This time around, I didn't print one or forgot to when I got started and just used a pen and paper. That's fine too, but this is in there also if you like to be a little bit more organized and keep it pretty. That's an option. And then I have a weekly meal planner too if you want to use that. So some other things to keep in mind that I'm also going to keep in mind while I am grocery hauling is just that we're going to have patience, all the patience, be very cautious of other people coughing and touching things, and be understanding. Don't get overwhelmed if you feel like you're missing ingredients that aren't at the store. You know, there's an opportunity for you to go during that weekly trip to get the things that you weren't able to get during the big monthly grocery haul, and hopefully the store will be in stock and you can do that. But if not, it's okay. Like, I don't want anybody to get overwhelmed. I'm not going to get overwhelmed. There will always be alternatives. You can make certain things without certain ingredients. You can tweak things. You can make things work. There is also a website, and I will link it below, that if you put in all the ingredients that you have in your house, it's going to spit out a recipe that you can make with it. So that would be an option for you if you find yourself in the store not finding ingredients for a certain meal that you were planning to make. Remember to follow me on Instagram, because this is where I'm in stories explaining things a little bit more throughout the month, meals, other tips and tricks for the frugal life, other meal planning. You might even see me on my grocery haul live on Instagram day of, instead of waiting a week for me to edit the video and get it posted here on YouTube. Follow, share, like, comment, all the things with feedback, things that you've learned, things that you're willing to share with me that I may not know, that you found helpful. I love all the feedback that I can get. So I hope that this was helpful for you guys, and that it taught you a little bit of new things to keep in mind for a grocery haul, pandemic style. And I'll see you guys for the grocery haul video in just a few days.